right, everybody, dear family, great to be with you all today. Let's take a nice deep breath in through our nose, filling the belly, chest, and the head, closing our eyes, laying our hands down in a palms up position. Taking a deep breath in through the nose, holding it at the top, and sighing it out. Deep breath in, and sigh it out. Another deep breath in through the nose, filling the belly, chest, and head, filling up, holding it at the top, and opening the mouth and sighing it out. Taking a deep breath in through the nose, and exhaling through the nose. Keeping our breath consistent with the nose, filling up the belly, chest, and head. And exhaling through the nose. Making the sound of the ocean with your Ujjayi breath. Deep inhale. And Ujjayi breath through the nose. Deep inhale. Exhale. As you're breathing in, I invite you to breathe in beautiful golden light. Visualize this golden light coming in to fill all the way up. And allow it to just bathe every cell, light, love, harmony. And with every exhale, you feel more and more relaxed, at ease. Inhaling this beautiful golden light, holding it in at the top, and feeling it move through the chest and the arms, into the hands, up into the head, exhaling, feeling more relaxed, breathing in this light, feeling the light come in through the nose, into the body, filling you with a sense of relaxation and peace, deep awareness. Deep breath in, filling with light, feeling it move down into the torso and into the legs, into the feet, and exhaling. Deep breath in with the light, holding it at the top. On your next exhale, imagine exhaling a dark purple cloud from a reservoir in the stomach. Through the nose. That reservoir is full of anything that no longer serves you, any tension, any anxiety, any feelings of bitterness or distress or anger. And with each exhale, you're blowing out this purple smoke coming from the reservoir, letting go of anything that's been holding on to, anything that no longer serves you. Breathing in this golden light, feeling it radiate every cell of your being, and exhale, purple smoke in the reservoir. Visualizing this reservoir emptying more and more with each exhale. Breath in, breathing in the light, holding it at the top, exhaling the purple smoke in your reservoir, feeling any tension, any bitterness leave the body with each exhale. So much light and love and harmony coming in with each inhale. Creating a cycle, cleaning the body. Breathing slower and slower with each inhale and each exhale. You're completely relaxed. You feel that this reservoir has been emptied. Breathing in the beautiful light. Exhaling the dark cloud. Once you feel that this reservoir has been emptied, I invite you to breathe in this beautiful golden light of love and harmony. Feel it bask every cell in your body, and then exhale the same beautiful golden light back into the space, creating a cycle of this beautiful energy coming in, radiating every cell of your being, and then exiting, going back into the space. Inhale once again. Breathing in the golden light. Letting it bask every cell of your being. Exhale the golden light. Turning it to the space in the body. In the energetic system. Once you feel that the body and energy centers have been cleansed, feel that they have been nurtured, loved, we start to ride your breath in all the way down into the belly, loop up, come back out, riding the breath out. In your exhale, bringing it back in, riding it in on your inhale, just riding the breath. Let any thoughts simply flow through you like a river, out the top of the head, as you ride the breath, all of your awareness. Each breath, become more and more relaxed. Becoming more and more relaxed. Riding the breath in, riding the breath out. Deeper breath, deeper. Bringing your awareness to the breath once more. Breathing in a beautiful golden light on your next inhale. Exhaling that same beautiful golden light. Drawing your awareness to your body. The feeling of being cleansed and being pure. Not carrying bitterness or anger or resentment. Just being the I am. Just being. Slowly draw your awareness to your fingers and toes. Just gently moving them in the body. Draw your awareness to your arms and legs without making any movement. Bring your awareness into your chest and torso, your mind, your head and your neck, down into your heart. With your awareness on your heart, take a deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth and sigh it out. Ah. Deep breath in through the nose. The mouth and sigh it out. Ah. Deep breath in. Open the mouth and sigh it out. Ah. When you're ready, bring your hands into prayer in front of you. Slowly rub them together, creating friction. And then gently place them over your eyes. Open your eyes behind your hands and slowly release your hands. Reveal your world. Face. Put your hands anywhere else that may need energy as you come back into the body. Hips, shoulders, and your heart. Whoever needs love. Back, everybody.
Wow, that was pretty phenomenal, Ben. Ben, thank you so much for that. I'm incredibly. I have to come back here a little bit. My goodness, man, that was great. Wow.
Cool. I'm glad you enjoyed it, brother.
Yeah, that was really, really great. Well, it is absolutely my pleasure to introduce you, my friend, because I had the pleasure of just talking to you on my podcast, and your adventurous spirit and your healing mind is something that I think is of value to everybody in this group. I love everything that you're doing. I'm excited to tell everybody to hear your story about world travel and about experiencing different shamans and different healers all over the world, and then incorporating these types of things into what you do now in your retreats. And through that meditation alone, man, I can only imagine what it must be like to actually experience one of your retreats. So I am super excited for the Quantum Healing Collective to meet Ben Holt. Ben, the floor is yours, my friend. I'm excited for you to tell your story.
Wow. Thank you so much, brother. You're the man, Joe. And
Dude,
it's so
sounds
cool
fun.
to be connected with all of you guys. I'm just watching these messages come in. Great meditation that one sent me. So it's just really cool to because I didn't even do like I was checking to see what was on. I was like, man, there's a lot of people listening to this meditation. Made me a little nervous at first. It was pretty funny. But
It,
thank you so much for the thank yous and the acknowledgement. I really appreciate it, guys. That was really fun. So thanks for letting me practice.
it's beautiful, man. Beautiful.
Yeah. So Joe, should I just go into like my story and what's going on in my life, or and then what we have going on for everyone else's life if they'd like, or
Bingo. This is yeah. What we'll usually do is you can tell a variety of different ways. We can bounce questions, or you can tell basically the story of like what you do now, how you got into what you see, everything, what makes you, what's really singing to your heart, and then once you
awesome.
feel that spoken your piece, you can let me know when you want to open it up, and we'll open it up for questions, and everybody can kind of
Cool.
shoot at you for a little bit.
Amazing. Cool. Yeah. Okay. I'll blabber for a little bit, you guys, and tell you about myself and what's been going on for me for the past 3 years. Um, Roughly 2.5 to 3 years. Time is kind of an illusion at this point, and it all melts together. But I graduated college in 2017, and I went into sales, and went to sales for this startup company, and really took off and pulled a bunch of doors and really worked hard. My whole life I was told I had to make money, and that if I didn't make money, I was going to be a chump, and nobody had money around me. I grew up in poverty, and so I was really okay, just making sure my phone is charging. I was really concerned with making money. And so whenever I was able to do that and I pulled all those doors and did all that hard work and I made $100,000 and I said, wow, this is cool. I'm still not happy. And so I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll travel. And so I traveled for a little while and I was like, I need to find a way to make money while I travel. And so lo and behold, usually what we think about, we generally create as long as we put some action behind it. So that happened. A link fell in my lap and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I put some action and some effort behind it. I hired some people online from all over the world. And we built something really cool that allowed me to like make as much money as I was, but work 2 hours a week on the computer and travel. And so I remember going to Costa Rica and sitting down at this beach with like my girlfriend cooked this beautiful meal and she was like my dream girl. And I had all this money and I was like, wow, this is great. I'm still not happy. so, so kind of had to go through all of the steps of what I was always told and always perceived of what was going to make me happy and fulfilled in my life in order to realize that that was not the case. And around February of 2018, I ended up going from Colombia, where I was trying to go. Then from Costa Rica, I'll back up a little bit. From Costa Rica, I decided, well, you know what? I guess I'll go move somewhere where I don't know anyone. I don't know my girlfriend. I don't know my mom's not there. My family's not there. I don't have any friends there. I don't speak the language. I'm just going to go and figure it out. So I bought a camera and I decided I wanted to make films, and I went to Colombia. 3 months later, I had found some happiness finally. And I was like, you know what? I'm unapologetically myself now. This is who I am. I'm a filmmaker. This is what I'm doing. And nobody can say anything because I went somewhere. I went with nobody there and made something happen for myself. And it was what I needed to kind of break through that. And thinking that I was going to go, I came to the United States for a wedding, thinking I was going to go back to Colombia and be a baller in a penthouse and live a very expat sinful life. And I realized, man, why do I feel like I need to stay in the United States right now? Why do I feel like I need to stay here? This is strange. I want to go back to Colombia. And then it was a good friend of mine said, man, you really need to go try Bufal Various with Dr. John in New York. And probably none of you know Dr. John, but we'll just keep his name as Dr. John because it's ambiguous. But I said, okay. And I booked a ticket for that weekend, just feeling like it was the right thing to do. So I went to New York. I filmed a bunch with a brand new camera. And by the fourth day, I was completely pissed off. I was completely in New York. I was completely just like, oh, F you too. Like, you know, it was full on. It was a lot of mayhem and chaos there. On the fourth day, I got a taxi ride to the apartment to go see that doctor. And I got a small meditation in the back seat on the way there. And so it mellowed me out and I was like, okay, we can do this. And so went in, had the experience. It was like, wow, that was incredible. That was amazing. But what does that mean? You know, what does all this mean that I just experienced? Like, how is that possible? What does it mean? And 5 days later, I was sitting on a dock in Lake Austin in Austin, Texas. And I had a full samadhi experience that left me in just pure ecstasy for around 12 hours in the most incredible stillness that I've ever experienced. And during that time, I experienced connections with Jesus and Buddha and Krishna and the energy of the ancient sages and the energy of these representations of Christ consciousness on earth. And from that moment forward, my whole life was completely changed. I realized that it was about being in service and that I would never find fulfillment through material gain, that I would only find fulfillment and peace through giving to others. And I never knew how to do that before, you know, being nice, doing a good job at my job. You know, I was doing my best. And after that experience, I realized that I needed to work more with that medicine to really see what this was all about. Because if everyone else was having this experience, then this changes everything in life, because I was completely transformed instantaneously. And so I went back and worked with the medicine and started seeing really incredible transformations in New York City. People were coming in from Upper East Side Manhattan, super sick, super just distraught, just riddled with anxiety, can't even unclench their body to hug you, can't talk. And I would watch them leave in 1 hour, a different person. And so I found it to be fascinating. And the fact that I realized that the Bufal Alvarez had no ancestral lineage and that it was relatively new and found around 1975, that this was something new and this was something that was being applied in a way that I'd never seen before, which I had tried ayahuasca and realized that there was a really long process with that. It takes about 6 months for you to really go through this ayahuasca process unless you work with it a lot. So I found this and I said, man, this is really efficient. This is really fast. This is really powerful. This feels like what I'm supposed to do, or at least a piece of what I'm supposed to do. So I did an apprenticeship with this doctor and then ended up traveling through Mexico, through the United States, through all kinds of places in North America, serving this medicine and making a film about it and connecting with the shamanic community and connecting with amazing people. It wasn't shortly after, whenever I discovered that there was a huge gap in the shamanic community whenever it came to really ethically and properly facilitating these experiences, and more so the lack of integration, preparation, lists of contraindications with the medicine, and really being professional and taking it seriously. And so with my attitude, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to put the medicine down for 10 months and I'm going to go to Asia and study meditation and sound healing, breath work. And so that's what I did. And it was amazing. It was incredible. It was totally different than Mexico. I flew into Bali and then I spent time in India and Thailand and all these different spots studying these modalities in order to be able to provide a more holistic and integral experience for people, utilizing this medicine as a tool and not so much as this is the platform, this is the idol, this is the medicine. I found that whenever you did approach it like that, if you do approach it like that, that usually all the bias, all your power would go to this medicine, whenever the true nature of all of this is that the medicine is within us all, and that this medicine is just a tool to nurture and clean that answer that's already within you. This beautiful glowing diamond that gets caked with mud, aka conditioning and trauma. This medicine is something that we use to pressure wash that diamond and really become an energetic alignment with our environment based on that discharge of shitty information, memory, and trauma in the body. And so, long story short, basically was able to create a wellness practice without the medicine. One of my missions, my intentions going there was to be able to recreate the same cathartic release and the same healing potential through breath work that was happening with the Bufal Alvarez venom. And I was able to get pretty close. And so people were having a good catharsis. I had this big download from source about a lot of Joe Dispenza's work and combining it with theta frequencies and different musics and different colors and different breathing techniques all together, kind of like the Kriyas and the yogis have done for thousands of years. Um, and that's when the toad found me again in Asia. And don't worry if you're wondering what the toad is or anything like that, I'm going to answer those questions. And the toad found me again in Asia. And this time it found me and said, this is what you have to do. You have to facilitate for the facilitators in Ubud being the eat, pray, love capital of the world. It's where I lived for about 6 months. And so did that for about a month, saw incredible, had an incredible reconnection with the medicine. And then coronavirus plucked me out of Bali and shat me out in New Orleans, Louisiana, whenever it was the most intense hotbed for coronavirus that was there. Since then, the United States has been extraordinarily polarized, I should say. I've been observing the news, let's just sum it up as the news, while I'm also simultaneously observing more abundance and more fulfillment and more connection and more purpose than I've ever experienced in my own personal life. And I've noticed that with many people that are in tribes like these, and it's absolutely fascinating. With all of the apocalyptic nature of what's going on, there's so much talks about our ascension and where we are going from here and what we're going to experience. And it's just been absolutely incredible to see people coming together in that way and to be on the front lines of this with such a powerful medicine has really been a trip. And like I was telling Joe earlier, right now I'm riding the wave, just trying to hold on. And that's basically what's happening. And so now here we are. And I'm living in Solitude Ski Resort in Salt Lake City, Utah, while things calm down in Louisiana. And yeah, that's me in the past few years. Does anybody have any questions?
Well, Ben, I think one thing that would be really important, just because I don't know who knows about it or not, just to get it right out of the way, is
Totally.
you could explain what Bufo is for everybody.
Yeah, totally, absolutely. So Bufo alvarius is a toad that lives in the Sonoran Desert of Phoenix, like Arizona and Mexico. And every 9 months, for 9 months, that toad stays underground hibernating. And whenever the monsoons come in, it gets wet, the amphibian comes out of the desert ground and plays in a puddle. Well, while that frog, that toad, is underneath the ground, its pituitary glands fill with, not pituitary, I'm forgetting the word, brain farted. I was thinking of chakras earlier. But these glands fill with this venom. And whenever it comes out of the ground, it's its defense mechanism. And so if a predator tried to eat the toad, then it would orally ingest it and get sick. Well, the thing is, basically the recipe in this venom is a cocktail of 5-MeO-DMT, which is extraordinarily the most powerful entheogen on planet Earth, bufotenine, which is another really powerful entheogen, multiple other tryptamines and alkaloids that are anti-aging and anti-cancerous. So it's a really amazing discovery in the sense that it's this cocktail that whenever you harvest it gently and ethically with the toad, dry it and vaporize it, smoke it, it creates a experience of non-duality, which is completely beyond the prefrontal cortex and the speaking mind. So for us to have a conversation about it ultimately null and voids this experience entirely. It's something that you can only experience. That's at its peak. And whenever this happens, usually people have a catharsis, and a catharsis being a releasing, a discharging, and expelling of any memory that's stuck in the body, trauma, any type of negative experience that you've had in your childhood, usually gets stuck in the nervous system, the fascia, the subconscious, any neural connection that's inhibiting your ability to navigate your environment effectively in alignment. All of this seems to get kind of blasted away and expelled during this experience with the medicine. And so what this does is gives you an absolutely ineffable experience, but that's not the healing part of it. experiencing the non-dual can be very enlightening in the sense that it's expanded your consciousness to see that, hey, anything's possible. But really what's going on is in your physiology, we're releasing energy that was there, inhibiting our ability to properly navigate our environment. So whenever we do that, we come into energetic alignment, which automatically makes synchronicities, makes connections, makes random occurrences happen more and more and more and more and more, random occurrences. And so you begin to notice that and see that in your life. And from what I've seen working with about over 1,000 processes now is people who are addicted to really hard drugs like meth and heroin are able to kick the drugs like that. People who severe trauma, sexual trauma, rape, murder in the family, very dark stuff, are able to really transform within multiple sessions with this experience. And so it's very new. And so right now we are creating kind of guidelines, if you will, and proper practices, a group of people, including myself, in order for this to be used in the most ethical and responsible and efficient way.
That's absolutely fantastic. That's like fantastic. That's beautiful. I'm going to let everybody else go to town because I usually ask a ton of questions, as everybody knows. Okay. But if Tracy or anybody, if you can let me know if you see anybody, because I'm going to scroll through. But if anybody has a question, please raise your virtual hand. It makes it much easier for me. If you can't do that, raise your regular hand.
What's a virtual hand?
This is a virtual hand you can actually go to up into the little 3 dots next to your picture, and it'll say raise my hand. Maybe it's there. Is it there? It might be there. It's on your picture somewhere. I know that. It's different from being the host. I'm glad that you got the guitar out too. Because you use a lot of music. Oh, there you go. Claudia said it's on the bottom. So it's on the bottom. Wherever you got a bottom in your virtual hand, you want to raise your hand, do that.
Yeah, your virtual hand, I think, is where you go to the participant list and you see your name, and then at the bottom of that it says raise hand. Ben, I have a question for you.
Ask away. Who is this?
Tracy.
Hey, Tracy.
Hey. You said something that triggered what I was wanting to kind of get support with from the group anyway, which is you mentioned people that are suffering addictions and can't let go of them. And that's my brother. Mm-hmm. And so I just want to know from your journeys and your travels, because he's been on meth, I think, for 44 years. Well, there was a 9-year break when he was in prison, but then he got out, and we thought he was off of it, and we gave him we tried to help him for the last 6 months, but he got back on the drugs, and now he's being with the drugs. And I see a lot of people, we're in stressful times, and we all have our different addictions and strategies for coping with the stress of life right now. So I'd like to hear you speak about, addiction, what you know to work with people with serious addiction to support them.
Yes, and I send my my sympathies to your family and you, because growing up in a rural part of Louisiana, crystal meth was a very big issue. It was a very big problem, speed and all of that stuff. When it comes to addiction and when it comes to this medicine, what's really extraordinarily important is a proper structure post experience, post initiation. When I say proper structure, a proper space to integrate, and a proper energies and proper people to be around, and that's it. And really, at the end of the day, no matter what we do, it is only our individual willpower that will allow us to stay in that place.
Yeah.
That's what I've realized, is that no matter what medicine or what hypnosis or what trance or what meditation, that urge is most likely going to come up. And that urge is not worth fighting, then it won't be fun. It won't be fun. And so I would say that this particular tool, the Bufal Various and 5-MeO-DMT, is very good for that, as long as there's a strong support system on the other side and a strong willingness to knock any addiction, right?
Yeah.
Because we all have addictions, and it's usually to our own addictions.
Mhm.
Like we're all addicted. I'm addicted to wearing this hat sometimes, addicted to
Yeah,
wearing
I'm
this
an addicted to
necklace.
volunteering to save the world,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that's
I feel
interesting.
the
And
same way sometimes.
you said something, Ben, that actually really that kind of clicked something for me too, because I think environment also I've discovered recently in my own personal self, but I've been going through just kind of like a weird, rough, dark time. And I think a lot of it has to do with our current environment where we live and what we're in. We're in a very loud, chaotic space. It's never quiet. It's always loud. There's not a lot of nature. My 2-year-old daughter is constantly screaming. Like we're all it's environment too. I think it's not
Yeah,
just the people around you. I think for especially for addicts, it seems that if you are anywhere close to familiarity, even if it's a place that's got that particular drug as a familiar drug, if you move from a place that you live in that you have to know the people and know all that, but then if you move to a place that you may not know all the people but you know the drug exists heavily there, those people still have a tendency to find it. But if you move to a
yeah,
place where it doesn't really exist and no one knows you, those people usually have a tendency to succeed there because it's incapable of retrieving, and you have to be forced to go through the real
absolutely.
symptoms of like dealing with when your willpower kicks up and says I want this but you can't have
Now,
it.
and I will absolutely. I will say this, Tracy, based on my work is not primarily with addiction patients and people who are addicted to harder drugs. Usually, my work is with people who are, and I'm lucky in this sense, is who are ready to take their consciousness to the next level, or their spiritual path to that next level of going from knowledge to experience. And
Yeah.
it's usually 50-year-old Buddhist people, which is interesting. But with the research that was done in Mexico City recently with a brother of mine and his rehabilitation center,
Mhm.
it's the most, the Bufo Alvarez was the most powerful and effective method for them to completely knock addictions, and usually to crystal meth and heroin. And so
No,
it's an amazing tool.
I'm
It's a good
super
tool.
interested to know about it, but the key ingredient, as you just said, Ben, and I've really, this got so drilled home this past week when this all came, literally blew up, is there's no willingness to change right now.
Mm.
Yeah,
There's absolutely
that's the
no
hard part.
willingness to change. In fact, there's rage if you try to make them change.
Make him change.
Right.
Um, we got to wait till the willingness is there.
Mm.
Absolutely.
um
Absolutely.
I don't mean to call you. I would definitely have a Rick is good with this stuff. I mean, if Rick is willing to have a conversation with you, I would maybe
Okay, Rick,
talk to Rick. Rick knows
I'm gonna
Rick.
chat you up, Rick. I'm
Yeah,
gonna put my
Rick.
text.
I don't mean to out you, brother, but I know your stuff in this realm, my friend. And I would hate for Tracy to not have your knowledge at hand, my friend. So, yeah, I definitely think that this type of medicine, that's interesting because it's something that I wanted to talk to you about, because we do have a lot of people in recovery that are actually in our group, and it's something how this group kind of began is that the two people who founded it were in recovery, went through their process, and then realized there was a lot of people around them that were dealing with not such substance issues, but let's say lifestyle addictions and emotional addictions, some of which are really, really bad. How much do you think it's important? Because I love how you talked about that you got to a space of really figuring out different modalities prior to getting to Bufo. Things like breath work and stuff like that for people who are really in their novice state with this. Because I think a lot of people,
Yeah.
especially people in the recovery space, it's not proper, I think, to move towards that for them at this time.
Yeah. Got
You
it.
know,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
on the
totally.
breath, you know what I'm saying? On the breath work subject, because I know your breath work is transformative breath work, and some of us do it. I'd like to you explain a little bit how your breath work really works in the same way, if you could.
Totally. Yeah. So I teach multiple styles of breath work, but The transformational breath work, or the shamanic breath work, is the one that is most it's very incongruent with the catharsis experience that the 5-MeO-DMT brings about. So yeah, it's basically straightforward. It's a combination of sound, and a combination of breath, and a combination of maybe being guided by the facilitator with an instrument, with touch, with guidance, with voice, and bringing you into a deeper and deeper trance through the expulsion of CO2 and the breath. And so basically it brings you into a space where your thinking mind, your prefrontal cortex, the mind that's listening to me talk right now, turns off. And this allows, there's a lot of really amazing studies going on right now, especially with Joe Dispenza and Greg Braden and Bruce Lipton, and showing how basically whenever the frontal cortex is shut down, the default mode network, that the subconscious mind is able to heal, and the body is also able to heal, and the nervous system is able to heal, and you're able to have spiritual experiences, and you're able to tap into an incredible amount of flow and creativity. It's a certain frequency that we hit, and it's characterized often by a theta frequency, or 7 electromagnetic pulsations going off in the brain per second. And so whenever that happens, I'm not a scientist or a biologist or any of that shit. So I just know that whenever it happens, that your body goes into a state of rest and digest, and the parasympathetic nervous system is activated. And this allows the body to heal, and it allows subconscious trauma in the nervous system and trauma in the fascia to be discharged through catharsis. And when I say catharsis, this is just an energetic expulsion. Dogs do this all the time. Animals in the wild do this all the time. Whenever an antelope's chased by a lion, what's it do after it? Shakes its whole body. Yeah, and if you do cold plunges, you get out, you have what I call a full body orgasm, where you just have a full on release. And that's just a catharsis. And they feel fucking great. And dancing is a catharsis. Working out is a catharsis. But this is specifically, the intention is set toward creating a safe space to have an energetic release. And that energetic release is what brings us into energetic alignment with our environment. And when we're in energetic alignment with our environment, we don't have to try. We are going to simply attract everything that is beneficial for us and everything that we reflect into our lives. And I mean, I've just seen it happen time and time and time again. And at this point, I'm completely sold. And so that's how the breath work is in congruence with the Bufo, and it does the same thing. But with people wanting to get, people that are, I would say, in recovery, because you mentioned that.
Yeah.
My suggestion is always building good habits. So in the morning, what are you doing in the morning first thing? It's hard for me, man. I'll check my phone in the morning first thing, and I'm freaking guiding retreats and teaching this shit all over the world.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not easy to always be on your shit. It's not easy to be on the game all the time. And it's okay. We can forgive ourselves for that, man. We're human. We came here to experience being a human. That's totally fine. But what are we doing that's holding us accountable? For me, being in this service holds me accountable. Teaching classes holds me accountable, reminds me that I have to practice. And if I don't have that, then I know that I'll slack more. And so really finding something that holds you accountable, like if you have severe allergies or asthma, if you do alkaline Wim Hof breath work in the mornings with cold water, you're gonna absolutely transform your life. And if you go back to having your allergies and asthma after you eat shitty food, gluten, dairy, smoke cigarettes, or whatever it may be, then guess what? You're being held accountable by your health. You know, you're being held accountable by feeling like crap. And just like finding something that brings you into the space that that's familiar with that practice. So if it's walking, to bringing out your yoga mat and having it on the floor, ready to go. You don't have to fuck with your yoga mat at all. It's there, ready for you to get on. That may be the thing that holds you accountable. So I think it's all about really finding those things that hold you accountable. At least it is for me. For me.
That's beautiful. I think that's true for everybody, man.
Yeah.
Really
I think it helps for sure.
It's like a
And it creates that subconscious patterning. That way you see that space. And just like whenever you smell something, it reminds you of someone because you have that sensory memory. When you see that space, you have this sensory memory. It's time to do yoga, you know? And if you're in one space and not traveling, it becomes way easier, I find, too. It's been hard for me. I
I
just
can
got off a
only,
plane today.
I know, man. For someone who travels like as a lifestyle, this must be just really strange to feel landlocked at times. And I don't know, man. I don't know how. I commend you for being able to stay mentally. At least you have a lot of tools mentally.
Yeah, got a lot of tools. I got a lot of really amazing people in my life, like, you know, and those connections are really, and those relationships are really what has nurtured me financially, what has nurtured me spiritually, what is nurturing me physically. Because if you have good people in your life, they'll hold you accountable too, and that's what tribes like this is all about. And so it's really cool to see you guys all here together listening to me talk, like, and asking questions. It's really dope.
I'm super grateful. That's one thing, and I'd like to say that to everybody too. I'm super grateful for y'all being here tonight too, because it's just,
Likewise.
it's awesome. It's awesome to be able to have you guys. And, you know, I was telling Tracy before we started, and Tammy, and, you know, Wednesday nights have been a little bit up and down lately. We've had a little bit low in guests, and guests that can make it, and we've had also people that haven't been able to make it. So it's nice. I'm really grateful to have all you here. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, guys, thank you.
Does
anybody want to ask any more questions?
Yeah, I would love to see if anybody's got anything else to say. Bruno, did you have your hand up? No, he's all good. If no one else has anything else to say, usually we have Kristen would close out with our closing statement, but I don't have it. So Ben, if there's anything you would like to share that is really on the top of your mind that would really help send our group off with sending positive energy towards everybody.
Yeah, Claudia, what's your question about? It says macro dosing, but I'm guessing you wanted to write micro dosing.
I did.
Oh, there you go, Claudia. I'm sorry if I didn't see you.
Two very different things.
Yeah.
They're very different.
Claudia is experienced in the plant medicine, so I'm glad she's getting to talk to you.
Yeah, right. I've done almost everything but 5-MeO DMT. I'm a little bit scared about it because I hear it can like really send you. But I had a lot of great success microdosing iboga. I started microdosing it, and I could no longer drink alcohol and microdose at the same time. They did not get along in my body anymore. Right. And then I did a full iboga retreat, and I can no longer drink. I was never an alcoholic, but I had the habit of drinking, which I wanted to completely get rid of. I actually didn't go into my iboga ceremonies with that intention at all, and I happened to just come out with it. But I don't know. Can you microdose 5-MeO DMT? What do you microdose, sure, and how?
So there's Bufal various, and I'll just be very clear. Both 5-MeO DMT and Bufal various are Schedule I narcotics in the United States of America when they're decriminalized and completely legal in Canada and Mexico. So that's another thing with me being behind enemy lines. It's been pretty epic. I still love it here. Yeah. So when it comes to working with Bufal various and 5-MeO DMT, the 5-MeO DMT is completely synthetic. It's 99% pure 5-MeO DMT. The Bufal various is 15 to 30% 5-MeO DMT. It's got a lot of other things in it that make it a very specific experience. But whenever you microdose, it's just really highly vibrationally energetic. Like, it's a super high vibration, and it makes you experience this super high vibration. So you may begin to feel like you need to purge energetically, moving energy for sure. But really what's the most beneficial experience is that peak arc of the experience, the non-dual experience, the feeling of death and rebirth, the evaporation of the ego, so that you can identify it and start to build a better relationship with it. And that's really what it's about. It's completely beyond. It's not recreational in the least bit. Mm-hmm. It's much more a tool. And this particular molecule is basically like the update for your MacBook from, like I would say, like, I always say Windows 94 to the Mac iOS Catalina, you know, like it really just allows people to step into their purpose and be in energetic alignment in a really powerful way. I thoroughly enjoy microdosing with clients and with participants. It's really an incredible way to connect. And in those microdosing spaces, it's not going to be like Iboga, where Iboga just categorizes everything and tells you like, nope, don't need this. Nope, don't do that. All right, we're right here. Okay, everything's good right here. Categorize. But it's going to bring you into this space that you're like, oh my God, my intuition, everything it's ever told me in my entire life is 100% true. And I know that for a fact now, because truth and knowing is an experience. It's all just mouth noise until you have the experience of truth. And it brings you into that experience of truth in the microdose. And so it can be really good. Yeah.
That's great. Could we attain this microdose from you, or like, how do we attend the retreats, or like?
Yeah. Yes. So it's obviously the community is very cautious about who carries medicine, and you really want to, there's a lot of contraindications with this medicine. There's a lot of things that can go wrong with the medicine if you do it by yourself without a seasoned practitioner. It really is, and that's why it's a big part of it. That's like one of the very big ethical, responsible categories. That's very important. But yeah, 100%. So I will say this. I should have said this earlier, I suppose. We do have retreats where we serve this medicine on sacred sovereign land where it's totally legal, and we combine it with breathwork, meditation, sound healing, nature, cold exposure, and everything else to create a 6-day container that's really transformational and really, really powerful. And so we just, we have 2 in October, one just sold out. And then we have another one from the 22nd to the 27th. Yeah. October 22nd to 27th.
I highly recommend, if anybody's interested in learning about these two, Ben, I don't know if do you put them on your YouTube channel?
Which one?
Any of your any of the testimonials or any of the new videos, or are those just on
all
your
Instagram?
All Instagram.
All Instagram.
So
can we get a link for knowing how to register or something like that? Can you put that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So let's just put a link to my website with /retreats, Joe, and you can learn all you need to about it there at that link, and then my Instagram, my website is called connectandevolve.com. And my Instagram is Connect and Evolve, and just like it's spelled, all lowercase. And I have a bunch of free stuff on my website that I would love for you guys to use. Guided meditations. There's a lot of preparation and integration information there. There's breathwork integration. There's films. I'm also a filmmaker. We didn't go into that. There's articles, all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah, Ben, I don't know how much time you have left, but I'm super grateful, man. And if I didn't put that in the chat correctly, you guys, definitely just Connect and Evolve. You'll be able to find it through there, I'm sure. And if you go to Ben's Instagram, like he said, there's a link tree in there, and I believe you can find it really easy in your link tree.
I have a link. Yeah, I have a link tree with all kinds of stuff in it. I just had a breathwork course that we just released. It's actually 50% off for everybody here, as whoever's interested in breathing. Yeah, I forgot to mention that too.
Yeah. It's hard to get it. It's hard to get it all in, man, in a short period of time. Yeah. That's the one thing, especially when you got a story like yourself, and that's why I wanted to have you here, man, because I feel like you're on the cutting edge and leading edge of this. Your spirit comes through huge through just talking to you. It comes through your authenticity. I just love it, man. I'm super excited for the day. I know it's going to happen. I just don't know how, that we connect physically on a physical plane, because I truly believe that we're connected for some specific reason. And I think it's a lot of it's because I'm ready for the assistance that you can provide, for sure, man. Especially in these recent few weeks have been some dark times. So definitely looking forward to connecting with you at times, brother. For sure.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. And look, if you want, basically, whoever wants to, I'm going to create something special. Whoever, if the whole group can collect together $75, the whole group, everybody will have the password to the Breathwork Mastery course.
Oh, man. I like that, man. Yeah. All right, we can make that happen.
Cool. And the transformational breathwork is on there. And yeah, it's just something I'd like to do for you guys. And the $75 is just an energetic exchange. So yeah, just to create something cool.
Dude,
fun.
100%, man. I think we can make that happen for sure. We'll work that out on
Cool.
our Facebook page. Well, I don't, like I said, I don't have the closing statement, but if I'd just like to say, like, we generated some huge energy tonight. Ben, you're super awesome. So grateful for the work that you're doing.
Brother.
Keep kicking ass. Thank you for joining us this evening. If you ever need the Quantum Healing Collective for anything, we're here. If you need to test a meditation out, anything like that, call on us, and we'll set something up so we can make it happen for you too, man.
Amazing, guys. Thank you guys so much for having me on and listening. If anybody has any questions, I'm on Instagram. Text me, or message me, send me an email. All the stuff that you need to know about my work is on the website. And yeah, I'd love to connect with you guys more. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Ben. Much love to you all.
Thank you, Ben.
Yeah,
you're welcome, brother. Thank you.
Much love, everybody. Thank you so much.
Much love, y'all. Have an awesome night.
Peace.